the kingdom of Embers and Tides. In the age when mountains still whispered their names to the wind, there were two great realms divided by a restless sea. To the west stood the sun-forged citadels of Arianther. To the east, the mist-wrapped forests of Velmara. Between them rose the jagged spine of the world, a mountain range known as the Crown of Ash, and within its burning heart slept dragons. For centuries, the dragons were myth and memory. Then the sky caught fire. The Awakening. It began in Velmara. Queen Sarilith, last of her line, stood on her balcony when the clouds tore open and a colossal shadow descended. The creature's scales shimmered like molten gold. Its wings beat once, and the forest bent in reverence. The dragon did not burn the city. It bowed. At the same hour in Arianther, King Valor watched another dragon rise from the volcanic plains beyond his walls, obsidian-scaled, eyes bright as coals. It, too, did not attack. It roared not in rage, but in warning. From the crown of ash came tremors. Something older than the dragons was waking. The ancient pact. In the deepest chamber of the mountain stirred Maelker, the first flame, a primordial worm born before kingdoms, before crowns. Long ago, dragons had bound him beneath stone at the cost of their own dominion. Their numbers dwindled, their names faded into legend, and humanity forgot the pact. Now Maelker's chains cracked. The golden dragon of Velmara, Arendor, chose Queen Sarilith. The obsidian dragon of Arianther, Nyrax, chose King Valor. Dragons had not chosen humans in 1,000 years. Reluctantly, the rival monarchs met at the edge of the sea, dragons coiled behind them like living storms. Old hatred lingered, border wars, broken treaties, blood on both sides. "You would see my kingdom burn before kneeling," Valor said. Sarilith lifted her chin. "I would see yours drown before bowing." Behind them, Arendor and Nyrax shared a glance older than human grudges. The earth split in the distance. Fire bled into the sky. Choice was no longer a luxury. The war above the world. When Maelker rose, the sun vanished behind his wings. His scales were blacker than void, his breath not flame but annihilation. Cities crumbled under falling ash. Rivers boiled. Armies meant nothing against a being that devoured entire battalions in a single exhale. But dragons fight differently than men. Arendor soared with light blazing from her chest, her roar scattering firestorms. Nyrax carved through the smoke like a blade of night. Upon their backs rode Sarilith and Valor, not as rulers, but as partners in survival. They fought in the sky above the crown of ash, steel and scale against primordial fury. Valor nearly fell when Maelker's tail struck Nyrax from the air. Sarilith caught his hand mid-plummet, hauling him onto Arendor's back. In that suspended heartbeat between death and rescue, hatred finally died. Trust replaced it. Together, guided by their dragons, they enacted the forgotten binding. Two human hearts willingly united, two dragons channeling flame and shadow as one. It was not brute strength that sealed Maelker. It was harmony. Light and dark interwove. Flame did not destroy, it balanced. Shadow did not consume, it anchored. The first flame was drawn back into the mountain, not by force, but by a unity he could not fracture. The crown of ash cooled. The sky cleared. The beautiful end. When the smoke lifted, the sea between Arianther and Velmara lay calm for the first time in living memory. Queen Sarilith and King Valor did not return to separate thrones. Instead, they built a bridge of white stone across the narrowest stretch of water, a marvel engineered by both kingdoms and guarded by dragons who no longer hid in myth. The bridge was named Concordia. Arianther's steel strengthened Velmara's towers. Velmara's living forests softened Arianther's stern horizons. Trade flourished. Art blossomed. Children grew up hearing dragon songs not as omens of ruin, but as lullabies carried on the wind. Arendor nested in the high cliffs, where sunrise struck first. Nyrax claimed the volcanic plains, his obsidian scales gleaming peacefully under starlight. And sometimes, when the sky turned gold at dusk, the two dragons flew together, wings nearly touching, shadows merging into one vast silhouette across both kingdoms. In time, Sarilith and Valar were remembered not as rival monarchs, but as the sovereigns of the twin flame, the rulers who learned that strength is not dominance and power is not fear. The crown of ash remained, silent and steady, but it was no longer a symbol of division. It was a reminder. Even fire can become light, when guarded by two hearts willing to burn together. The end.